Peter Dooley, Louth management team, I'm sure sense of relief. 5-point winners. I think you were deserving winners in the end, but it was certainly a battle out there from start to finish.
Absolutely, Colin, and I suppose the first game everyone's out of the blocks at the same time, and you're conscious of that. And Offaly coming up on the back of a good campaign last year in the Division 3, with Mickey and Dax and then over them, we were coming into Tullamore to their home backyard. We were undefeated in the league last year, so we knew this was going to be a battle, and we're just delighted to get up the road with 2 points.
Did the game pan out as expected? I mean, the first half it was score for score. It was a tremendous spectacle, but it was all about, I suppose, the end result. You were 3 points down at half time. How concerned were you at that point?
Yeah, look, I suppose the new game lends itself that a lot of emphasis now on the kickouts, and that first half we were definitely losing the kick-out battle. Offaly in the middle with Jack McAvoy, Aaron Levy, and they were winning the breaking ball. We thought they were first to get the breaking ball or even there before we were, so we addressed that at half time, and we felt in the second half we got somewhat better change in that area, and it just gave us the platform then, our attacking play. Today I thought, 121, if you were giving us that before the game, we would have been very happy.
A few things, as you say, the kick-outs, maybe not winning enough around the midfield battle from those kick-outs, and of course they managed a succession of 2-pointers as well. Maybe you just backed off them a little bit and give them too much room for those opportunities.
Yeah, and again, I suppose it was a game of 2 halves, so they had 4 2-pointers in the first half, so that's definitely a learning that, we would always emphasise that when we're defending that, you have to push out if those 2 opportunities are on, but we did. We were treated, and they were picking them off, and there was an area of concern in the first half of half time, but then I suppose the swing is that maybe we can exploit those 2-point chances then in the second half.
And you had the elements in your favour. You had that breeze at your back in the second half as well, and they were obviously a factor. Was that the message going out at half time? If those chances that Offaly were able to create, if you do something similar, take them on? Absolutely,
and I suppose it gives you oxygen then, when you get those 2-pointers, and if you can then squeeze and get the following kick out, you're getting the momentum. Momentum changes very quickly in this new game, so you have to maximise those periods as best you can.
Yeah, and you mentioned momentum, and they definitely swung in your favour with the back-to-back efforts, Conor early, and then the one you got soon after as well, and then the goal arrived courtesy of Sam.
Yeah, look, the ball that was played in, if there's a player you want in there, and just that composure, and Sam finished with a plum.
Yeah, in terms of the rest of the game, you had the lead, but Offaly, they're not a team that lie down easily, and they kept coming at you, and you still have work to do.
Absolutely, and until the very last few minutes, you saw, in terms of, I suppose they were pumping high ball in, and we had to deal with that. I thought we dealt with the high ball very well today. Dermot Campbell had a serious catch coming out there near the end, so we were conscious. Like, again, you see the game last night in Tyrone, they were winning 4 or 5 points, and Kildare pegged them back with a couple of 2-pointers. So the game's never over until that who goes, Colin.
Absolutely, and the mix that you were able to field today, you had experienced players that weren't listed at the start, came in, and then the lads that you were able to bring off the bench, Kieran McCardle came on, Darren McDonald obviously started, and Ty McDonald, a huge contribution after he came off the bench.
Absolutely, and that's what it's about, being able to bring in those fresh legs, and being able to bring in the likes of Tag with pace, and Dara again, coming on the back of a good steady year that he finished last year. Kieran McCardle coming in, a good mix there and a good blend, and hopefully we can get a few more of our injured players back as well. That competition is in our panel going forward.
And Donald McKenny, how big of a call was that? Because Donald hasn't played very much football. He had surgery, didn't play last year for Arlie Samiris in the championship, but you're obviously confident that he was fit enough, and he certainly went out and proved that he was fit enough.
That's right. Look, you can't question Donald McKenny's heart and determination, and when he goes out onto the pitch, you're getting 100%, and even in his rehab, he was wanting to get back on the pitch earlier, and we had to hold him back because he was just, he's tenacious. He wants to get out there, and you saw from his performance today and come up there and kick a point with his left foot. It's great to see, in terms of, how he has made that recovery, how he's got back to playing that level, and that 70 minutes will stand only now going forward.
A few other fellas were on the ball today. Next to Tommy Dornan, how far away are they from fitness?
Yeah, look, Tommy just had a relapse of his calf injury, so he's probably another few weeks away, and probably maybe the latter stages of the league. So again, it's just following that medical advice with S&C with Kean Sloan and Chief, our medical team, and we'll monitor that week to week basis. But hopefully, Tommy's back in a few weeks.
We talk about it all the time, the strength of the panel, and it's a panel game now. You need everybody firing on all cylinders available and fit, because these games are coming thick and fast, and you're straight into another big one now next week.
That's it. We get on the bus now. It's Cork mode that we have to see. Switch immediately, and the focus is all on Cork. And with the 7 games in 9 weeks, it's hard on the bodies, because the new game, as we say, it's high octane, it's end-to-end, it's pendulum, it's momentum, it's all of those things. So, bodies can get tired, you can pick up injuries. So, the depth and the strength of your panel, and to have those, under 20s, current under 20s and former under 20s coming through, it's a massive boost for us.
So the games yesterday in Oman at Croke Park, and the level and the quality in Division 2, no easy games, as we all know, and the level of some of the other teams now, they're going to have to match that now going forward.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. You see Meath, definitely have picked off where they left off last year. Massive win last night in Croke Park. Tyrone, again, probably the favourites to go back up, and Kildare pegged them back and got a draw last night. So those 2 teams who everyone's looking to, so you can see that from the results last night. Division 2 is always competitive, and there's so much of an emphasis on Division 2 in terms of where you're going to be in the summer, in terms of the Tailteann Cup or the All-Ireland Series. So real competition, and the next game is all that matters now, Colin, against Cork.
Absolutely. Well, you can look after yourselves. You've got the job done down here in O'Connell Park. 5-point winners. Peter, thanks indeed for joining us. Well, Fullback, congratulations. This was always one of your battles down here at O'Connell Park this afternoon. It turned out that way. You had to show an enormous result in the second half, but job done, and you must be very pleased.
Yeah, the first day out was just about getting a win on the board. We knew in a way day coming down here, Offaly up from Division 3, and Mickey Hart at the helm, in terms of what he was going to have them believing in and pushing them, and we knew they wouldn't fear the likes of us. I know Offaly probably have lost a lot of bodies from last year. We knew coming in they'd be a wounded animal, so just delighted to get the win. It wasn't pretty there. Obviously the first half they kicked a few great 2-pointers. We'll probably look at them during the week and not be happy with how we defended those, but I thought overall, every time we attacked in the first half, we were looking like we were scoring, or we were cutting them for goal chances. So just delighted to get out here with the win. The first day out is just all about getting the win.
First half, there were positives and negatives from your point of view. You did take some good scores, but they were cutting you open a bit too easily, and they had that succession of 2-pointers, which you'd have to obviously be a bit concerned about.
Yeah, like the breeze, we didn't really think there'd be much of a breeze coming down here, but once they got a couple of long range scores, the wind was just sailing the ball over the bar. So overall, I don't think they really cut us for any goal chances. So we're happy with that. But that first half, definitely, we were probably a little bit standoffish. Probably took us 10 or 15 minutes to realise there is a bit of a breeze there. So definitely loads to work on for next week. Cork coming to RD. So, but yeah, no, just delighted to be out here with the win.
Well, with conditions that got back in the second half, you saw what they were able to do. And then you were obviously able to do the same then, the back-to-back 2-pointers in that third quarter, huge scores.
Yeah, that was it. Just put the ball up and let the wind do the work. Obviously, we wanted our 2-point men on the ball there. There was no point lads taking pot shots. It was important to get our right lads on the ball. And then we knew at the end there they were just going to throw the kitchen sink in terms of a couple of high balls in. We knew what they were trying to do, so it was just about getting something on the high ball and communicating and getting lads in around. And thankfully, the bounce of the ball went our way a couple of times at the end, and we were able to keep them out.
And even with the 2-pointers you got, and then the goal which followed then from Sam soon after, they were a dogged team, Offaly, and you knew they were never going to throw in the towel.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with Mickey in charge. They were never going to lie down in their backyard. And as I said, they're missing some key lads. So we're well sure that they'll be able to take points off a couple of teams maybe later on in the league once they get those few bodies back. And we're just delighted. We've a couple of bodies to come back in ourselves. I thought a couple of lads done really well there. The likes of Dermot probably dominated in the middle, and a couple of young lads come on. Tyke McDonald, massive impact. Callow's back in. Owen Callan's back in the squad this year, which is brilliant. So we've lads come back in as well, and the lads on the bench there, as I said, they were just pushing and driving everything on and got us over the line. You
managed the game quite well in the close exchanges. A few high balls were lofted in. You made one tremendous catch yourself. The experience maybe of last year and even the year before, much did that tell maybe in the closing stages that you were able to see out the game?
Yeah, I still think we probably kicked a few balls away cheaply enough at the end, and myself and Niall were probably cursing a couple of the forwards at the end. But them high balls in, it's just about making sure one goes up and not having two or three going up for the same ball and then getting caught in no man's land. And Niall knew to probably stay on his line. The last thing we wanted was the two of us going up and the ball being flicked in the back of the net to an empty net. So yeah, that was kind of just a bit of old school football there at the end, and yeah, thankfully we were able to deal with them.
No promotion or relegation on the first day of the season. It's a 7-match campaign, Dermot, but this was a huge fixture. Both teams were obviously treating it with the same significance.
Yeah, 100%, because the two favourites to go up obviously dropped points yesterday. So Kildare got a great result up in Tyrone, and Meath obviously put Derry to the sword. I don't know what the score was in the other one today, but there's going to be points taken off everyone, and that's why it was so important today to get a win. The so-called favourites for the drop, let's say, as I said, they're well able to pick up results, so it's going to be a dogfight for the whole campaign. So we're just delighted to get the 2 points.
One game at a time, 3 home matches. The first of those coming against Cork next week. They've beaten Cavan this afternoon. You perhaps old Cork one from last year's campaign, but obviously they're going to be tough opposition.
Yeah, Cork really good side. The last few fixtures seems to go the way of the home side, so we're hoping maybe that trend continues. But we know, they'll be coming up to Ardee next week. And a couple of lads back in their squad this year as well, so that'll be a real battle. We know they're big around the middle and have threats all over the pitch up front, so we'll just have to recover now during the week and focus on Cork.
Sure, turnaround, but it'll be a very happy dressing room, and the journey home obviously will feel that bit shorter now when you get an away win like this in your first match of the campaign.
Yeah, that was a target for the last 2 or 3 months, was just Offaly. We weren't looking past that. That's what Gavin and Peter had drilled into us, so now we move on to Cork, as I said, and just get up the road and recover, and 2 points in the bag.
Yeah, much congratulations on your contribution today. 5-point victory for Louth and Cork next week in RD. Best of luck next week. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
Sam Mulroy, Louth captain, heartiest congratulations. This was always going to be a battle down here at O'Connor Park. It turned out that way. Job done, though. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, absolutely delighted to get away with 2 points, and that was the main objective. And I think, we knew it was going to be a tough test coming in here. We know what Offaly bring. We've been hearing numerous times over the last number of years. So they're a tried and tested team with lots of experience and some youth in there as well. So look, as I said, it was about getting 2 points today and getting ourselves on the road.
A real hard slog if you look back on it. That period after half time, the back-to-back 2-pointers, and then your goal arrived. Eventually, I suppose, got you over the line, but Offaly dogged right to the finish.
Yeah, and that's what we expect from them. And they kicked some monster 2 points in the first half. So we knew we needed a couple ourselves in the second half, and then thankfully the goal came at a good time for us, I think, and it got us a foothold in the game, led us to be a little bit more calmer on the ball and control it a little bit better. And I thought our lads managed it well then the last while. But as you said, Offaly never went away, and you've always that fear, I suppose, especially with the new rules. It's never done. So we have to keep playing right to the end.
It was a heavy side out there in that first half. Maybe when you look at the breeze you were playing into it, just how difficult was it to gauge that breeze?
Yeah, it was strong enough, and even when we arrived here, we were like, oh, it's not that breezy, but it seemed to pick up, and especially shooting into that goal, it is tough. It always find the other end is the scoring end. So it was a tough first half, but I thought we attacked really well, and we put together some nice moves. But then you have the luxury of shooting into the second half with that breeze behind your back, and as I said, the scoring goals maybe.
Yeah, some elements that you would have been happy about in the first half. I think going forward you look dangerous. Other elements didn't win enough of your kickouts, and defensively, they scored 3-4 2-pointers, which is something that you'd be a little bit concerned about.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and that's always going to be the way. Every week there's going to be something for us to improve on, and that's the beauty of it. I thought we attacked really well the first half, especially into that breeze, and then there was probably a lot of the times their kickouts seemed to hurt us over the back, and we probably just didn't scramble back fast enough. So there's loads to learn, and look, the boys will analyse it today and tomorrow, and we'll hear all about it on Tuesday night today.
And just how draining was it out there? Because there wasn't hardly a break in the game, particularly that first half. I think the only break was the loud substitute Conan McKeever going off. It was really, really frantic stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was non-stop, and an element of that is the rules, an element of that is the pace of Division 2. It was great. It's non-stop, and it's go. So something we just have to be ready for. 3 points
down at half time, that's nothing of a deficit in the modern game. You must have always been confident at half time with the breeze at your backs in the second half that you were going to be able to turn it around.
Yeah, I think so, and as I said, I thought our lads managed it really well coming in the home straight. I knew once we got one of those 2 pointers over the bar, and we got a little bit of ourselves settled, and found our range, and we didn't rush it. I think we knew that if we got ahead that we'd be okay. But it's just one of those things you have to make them go over, and sometimes they don't come as quickly as you'd like, and then that's when the panic sets in. But I think our boys are trying to test in that sense at the minute. So Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, how much did experience play its role in getting that result, stemming from last year, maybe the year before, and the past, obviously, Leinster Championship winning experience and Division 2 experience?
Yeah, I think so. Look, getting that team together again. That team hasn't played 2 Born Cup games or 1, whatever it was, over the last 7 weeks. We haven't played that much together, so getting boys back on the pitch together is massive, and hopefully building that connection again with the sprinkle of new lads in as well is important. So yeah, hopefully we'll build on that over the next few weeks.
Yeah, the look, I'm sure, the matches yesterday, the 2 games that were played, and they're the teams they're going to be facing now over the next number of weeks, and there's no easy touches, very, very high level, and it's going to be fairly intense.
Yeah, look, and it's a bit, we know as well as anyone now over the last number of years how competitive Division 2 is. So yeah, when you see Kildare going up and taking points off Tyrone last night, and Mead, Skelton-Derry and Croke Park, like it's so competitive, and you can't call any of the games, I don't think. So yeah, it's going to be, you need to get your points on the board, and as quickly as possible.
And a much better feeling heading away from a place like O'Connell Park first day of the season with 2 points in the bag rather than going home with a defeat.
Yeah, I think so. We've struggled to win on the opening day over the last number of years, so yeah, it's great to get 2 points on the board and get back to the drawing board on Tuesday.
And your own contribution today, getting the goal, what does that do for the likes of your confidence? At this stage?
Thank God I got it, because the rest of it wasn't going very well for me in terms of shooting. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It fell nicely, and I hit the back of the net. So but yeah, there's lots to work on, myself included. As I said, we'll get back to it on Tuesday.
A good loud travelling support once again this afternoon, as per usual. Next week, you'll obviously hope the numbers are out in RD. Huge game. You'll be looking to make Defy Park we're a fortress.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was unreal to run out today and hear the roar. So yeah, look forward to next week already.
Well done again, Sam, Louth captain, and